Hi, I'm attorney Dionna Reynolds, and you are?
I am Shanara Carter, your favorite real estate agent.
All right. So we're finally at a place where we're going to stop working on these devices and have a really good conversation. And we're actually dressed for that conversation today. So what are you wearing?
I am wearing my Chicago State University sweatshirt established in 1867.
And I'm wearing DePaul Blue Demons Law. So, we're really grateful for these institutions we attended to. We love them, but that's not why we're wearing these sweatshirts. We're wearing them because we want to have a conversation about the value of a college education.
Yes.
So we haven't finalized the title yet, but the title is probably something along the lines of, do you need a college degree, or is a college degree is worth it? And since we're both in the areas of real estate, this conversation is going to be directed toward that. And I'm sure we're just going to go along the line about, is it necessary? So with that being said, my path is a little bit straight yes or no. To be a lawyer, you do have to have what is called a Juris Doctorate. So that not only do you have to go to undergrad for 4 years, you have to go to law school for 3 years. If there's value in going to law school is a whole other conversation, and we're not going to have that. Just put it like this, it costs a lot of money, or you better have a scholarship, and you better have a plan as to what you're going to do with that law degree. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk specifically about undergrad and focus in on real estate. So Shanara, you do have on this sweatshirt, and I'm assuming you got a diploma there, right?
Yes.
Did you go there to become the favorite real estate agent?
No, I did not.
So why you go to college? Tell us more.
So I went to college to become a registered nurse.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was a registered nurse before I became a realtor, and gave 20 years to the profession before I left to do real estate full time. So if I would have started out wanting to be a realtor, like my daughter wants to, we'll talk about that later.
Let's save that toward the end.
Okay.
Later, I am going to ask you, Shanara, if you knew what you knew now,
okay,
would you have gone to undergrad? Let's just lay some ground rules. I've already said to be an attorney, you had to go not only undergrad, but law school. But to be a real estate agent, let's just talk about the requirements, point blank, period. Do you need an undergrad degree to become a real estate agent?
You do not. So now I'm not sure how long ago that was, but it changed. Now you can be a real estate agent at the tender age of 18 years old.
18?
Yeah, it was 21, 18 wow. Now.
You can't even have a drink.
No, but you can sell houses.
You can sell houses. So with that being said, when I was an undergrad, I majored in finance and I did take a real estate class. It was very interesting, and that was one of the things that laid the groundwork for me deciding to do real estate as an attorney. So if a realtor doesn't have to go to undergrad, what do they have to do when it comes to education?
So you sign up at a real estate school.
Real estate school. Okay, very interesting. Real estate school.
They have schools specifically to teach real estate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And depending where you go, you can do it online. You don't even have to step into a classroom. So you can do the course completely online. For me, I went into a classroom. I did a 2-week advanced course, studied for 3 weeks, had my license.
Wait, wait a minute. So slow down.
Mm-hmm.
So you went to real estate school
for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks working as a full-time nurse during the day and in school at night. So 5 days a week, 2 weeks.
So far you have to be 18 and you have to go to real estate school, and you did yours in 2 weeks. Okay. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Just, real estate school in and of itself, just out of curiosity, what did you learn? Just, I know you can't give us the whole 2-week syllabus, but what did you learn?
All the book stuff, none of the stuff you're going to use when you're actually in the field. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Just off the top, do you have any idea how much you paid for real estate school?
It was probably like $600.
Wait, what?
Maybe $500.
So you got a whole certification, or rather did all the coursework for under $1,000.
Yes.
So I don't have the statistics, but I'm pretty sure to get a, let's not even say undergraduate or associate's degree, yet alone, I'm thinking associate's degree, you have to spend at least $15,000 to get an associate's degree.
Maybe not.
Maybe not, depending on the institution.
Maybe not.
Maybe,
go to a city. If your young kid goes to a city or Chicago college, they could possibly go for free if they got the right GPA. Yeah, that's another conversation.
Okay, so if I'm looking at the price I'm paying for real estate school versus other higher levels of education, one obviously costs more than the other. So, as people who attended college, in your opinion, did you learn anything?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I did.
Absolutely. College is not only about the curriculum and coursework, it teaches you time management. And the thing that they always try to push you almost with any type of schooling is it teaches you how to think. Okay.
That critical thinking piece.
Critical thinking. So as a real estate agent, would you say that you do critical thinking?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
So we've already laid some ground rules. One, you need to be 18. And depending on how fast you want to learn the material, you can do it in 2 weeks. And depending on the school you sign up with, you could spend at least less than $2,000. Shanara spent around $600. With that being said, if someone was only going to do real estate, if someone knew that their life's passion was just real estate, not you, Shanara, what would you tell them? And I want to let's be a little bit more intentional in how we answer this question. Let's talk about someone who's 18. Maybe you're confronting a parent who their child wants to be a real estate agent and they're 18 years old. And then let's pivot and compare that to someone who's doing a change in careers. Right. And that person never went to college, but they just want to do a change of careers. So let's start with possibly, which one do you want to start with? Our seasoned adult who's doing a change in careers or a young person who's 18? Which one do you want to tackle first?
Let's talk about the seasoned adult first.
Seasoned adult. I think the answer is very clear. If you're a grown person, well, I'm going to talk first and then you can say what you want. If you're a grown person and you have responsibilities and bills and you already have a lot of life experience, I would say no, do not get a college degree because you have been functioning in the real world. I'm assuming you have had a job. I'm assuming you have paid bills. And if you have not gained those critical thinking skills from college, just by virtue of you being an assumably independent adult, you have developed those critical thinking skills. So if I was someone, an adult, and I wanted to become a realtor, absolutely not. I would not go to college for the sole purpose of being a real estate agent. Now, if someone wanted to get a business degree, wanted to understand how to run a business, right. Absolutely. That's a different skill set where you can do coursework, you can reach out resources, but solely for just the purposes of being a real estate agent and you're a grown adult who's assumably been independent and paying bills and have life experience, no, you do not need a college degree. Pass go and go straight to real estate school.
I agree.
Now where it gets a little bit nuanced, and I'm gonna let you speak to this, is what if you're 18? Does an 18-year-old really knows what they want in life? I'm way north of 18 and what I want in life changes day to day sometimes.
Yep.
So with that being said, what would you tell someone who is 18 or a parent of an 18-year-old who wants to do real estate?
So yes, this is good because this is my child who is 16 years old at the time right now, wants to be a real estate agent. She told me she's going to be the top real estate agent in Chicago. Well, she really doesn't want to live in Chicago. She wants to relocate. Nonetheless, what is my advice to that teenager, that 18-year-old who wants to sell real estate? Well, just think back. If you are a seasoned adult, think back on how the career paths may have changed for you, right? With that being said, do I think a college degree is essential? I do. Why? Because it may change. And the truth of the matter is, real estate, although it's an easy, um, although it's an easy license to obtain, there's a skill set to it that everybody just doesn't have, and those are just facts. Some people will, just skate by. Some people will, just make ends meet, and some will be top producers. It's just the truth of the matter. So with that being said, you could decide that real estate is not for you. And if you went to college, now you have your college degree to fall back on just in case. But if you do real estate directly right out of high school and you decide it's not for you, now you have to start over and figure it out, right? But we just said that you could do it in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So guess what? That 18-year-old can take their summer, get their real estate license. Once they start making money, might decide, no, I'm not going to college. Who knows? I don't know. But that is going to be my advice to my child. That would be my advice to any 18-year-old who asks me what to do. I'm going to say, take the summer, go ahead, knock it out, get the license. And then if you go to a school that has reciprocity, you can take the state exam and get the license there and sell real estate while you're away at school.
Ooh,
come home, sell real estate here. It's like so many different avenues that you can take, and you can have that just in case college doesn't work out.
And you know what? I just thought of a question. Would you recommend that person study something close to real estate or something close, totally different, like dance?
Well, okay. Okay. That question is going to be related to what, so that digs a little deeper. What's your passion? What are things that you're passionate about, right? One thing I can tell you that my father said was that whatever you do, make sure you're passionate about it. You want to do that thing that even if you don't get paid, you love what you're doing. So it can't be about the money. It has to be about passion. So could it be a career in the arts? Absolutely. Because maybe you're passionate about showing young people how to dance, or, how to paint, or anything artistic, right? Or it can still be in the field of real estate, because you can teach real estate. You can take it to other levels, right? You can have a business degree so that, like you stated, real estate is a business. So if you have a business degree, that education can show you how to effectively run a business versus just being a real estate agent.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different ways to look at it.
So many.
I agree with you about a young person going to college because, things change. And you can always get that degree over the summer. I do like the idea of, and it's kind of diversification. If your passion is different than something business, do that, because you can be diversified, because that child may really regret missing out on that passion. I do have a caveat about how much we're paying for these young people to have their passion projects or experiences. And I'm going to save that for after this conversation or after this thought. But my thought is, yes, you don't, younger person, go to college. If you really are business minded, go get that business degree where it kind of integrates into real estate. Or if there's another facet of their personality that they want to explore, do that too. One thing I can say about you is that your skill as a nurse has given you bedside manner. It's giving you compassion that a lot of people don't have. Being a real estate agent requires a lot of people person skills. And if you're a nurse and you're a good nurse, you definitely need to have those people person skills. So all of it kind of transfers and is related. So if I'm a young person, or I know a young person, I see a benefit definitely going to college for experience, diversification, and just having a backup plan, because things change.
Shout out to all the nurses.
I love nurses. My mommy is a nurse.
Nurses are amazing. They don't pay you enough. But anyway.
Yeah. Love. So let's pivot into conversation. So we talked about real estate agents. So we've answered the question of what we think an adult should do versus a young person. Shanara, I'm going to now let you answer. I'll table that to the end. Let's have a conversation about the value of college, period. So when we were talking about those passion projects, so if you are someone who's in the arts, let's say you really, love dance. Is it a good use of resources to maybe go to a very expensive liberal arts school where you're paying $80,000 a year? Meaning when you come out of school, you're going to have, unless you got it like that or your parents got it like that, $300,000 worth of debt. So the question is it necessary not only for real estate, but is it a wise decision to go to college for anything? Anything. Should you go to college, period? So we obviously we find value in college because we just sent the 18-year-old in college.
Yes,
but we do have to have a conversation about spending our money wisely and getting the value of a buck. I want to give a big shout out to all the trade skill workers. Those who are skilled are killing it. I've done a home rehab. The person who did my rehab is very well off. They have a skill set. Shout out to all the plumbers. Shout out to all the electricians. When you have a skill, very good. People who have their CDL license, truck drivers. That is a very important skill.
I used to own a trucking company.
Okay, you've done everything. Another conversation. My great hairstylist, my great cosmetologist. Who else be killing it without having to get that degree?
Without having to get a degree.
Plumbers, electricians, cosmetologists,
HVAC.
Oh my gosh. People with CDL license. My point.
Or just entrepreneurs. Period.
Entrepreneurs.
Small business owners. Like even if you don't have
restaurant,
a trade,
baker.
Our boutiques, our clothing boutiques, our nail technicians, our estheticians. Like they go to school, but it's not a 4-year,
like a real estate agent. There's some type of program.
They go through a program. But I'm just saying, like, there's so many things, there's so many career choices that are out there that don't take the amount of money that technically a college degree takes. And this is my thing. This is my biggest thing with college, is that I wish we had the statistics on how many people went to school, got a college degree, and are working nowhere near the field of what they went to school for. That part. So for me, right, let's take the registered nurse. There's no reason for me to go to school at Harvard to become a registered nurse, to become an elementary school teacher, to become a social worker, to come out of school with all of that debt and can barely afford to pay my student loans. That's just...
And that's the same thing for the dancer or any field. So even taking it back to that 18-year-old child who wants to be a real estate agent, your child. So she won't waste your money. But if it was another child who was 18 and wanted to be a real estate agent, life is full of surprises, baby. These kids be surprising us. But my point is that you can get that experience elsewhere. There's not these trade schools, and there's actually a movement to try to keep the trades tight, not to let some people in. What I mean by that, read between the lines, if some high schools used to have great trades programs, and that some of those high schools, those trade programs are getting taken away.
They were taken away.
Listen,
and they need to be put back.
They need to be put back
because college isn't for everyone.
Exactly.
And that's the truth of the matter. Yeah. So and a lot of times sometimes we push our own agenda and what we didn't do or what our belief systems on our children. And that's just not their path. So college is just not the path for everyone.
Absolutely.
Some may say sometimes it's not just about that. It's about the connections you make. It's about how you develop and how you grow away at school. Let's just not get into $300,000 of debt doing it. That's all I'm saying.
It's a less expensive way to do that. certain generations, I'm not going to say, the transition from being a teen to adult is there's no set path for doing it. And especially as Black people, we're always taught education, education. Absolutely. Our ancestors and generations before us fought for the right to have an education, not taking that away. But we have to evaluate the value of the education and appreciate other paths from transitioning from teens to adults.
Yeah.
What was it, my girl? What's the oldest Obama daughter's name?
Sasha.
No, was that Malia?
No.
It's Sasha. Well, the oldest Obama girl, she took a gap year.
Mm-hmm.
And for some children, that may be necessary. We don't necessarily have to push them going to school right away. Don't let them waste your money or their credit, because for some of them, it's the loans are all in their name. Don't let them waste their credit. They may need that time. And we got to find safe spaces where they can transition to adulthood, where they are not going, getting tons of debt, and they're living in our homes forever. So, for some people, that may be moving out of state and going to a
junior college.
Now that's smart. That is so smart. I went to the University of Illinois, and there was quite a few students there who moved down there, got apartments, and went to the local junior college. They weren't even paying a third of what we were paying at the University of Illinois, but they had that experience. They were able to transition from teen to adult, and they didn't have as much debt. And for those who did want to, who had the good grades, they were able to transfer into the state school. So that is, and of course, that takes discipline and someone who thinks that far ahead. But don't think that there is one path for every person. Trade schools, junior college, we don't have to go into debt to make connections.
We don't.
We don't have to go into debt to become adults.
We don't.
And just because you can get that loan doesn't mean you should get it.
True.
And I really liked what you said about how you didn't have to go to Harvard to become a nurse. You didn't have to get that debt. You didn't even have to go to a private liberal arts school to become a nurse. Mm-hmm. So, we just got to do our research and choose a decision that's best for us. Not us, kids, persons, nieces, nephews, whoever, because everyone's path is going to look different.
And truth be told, I really didn't pay anything to go to school. Yeah, that's the whole nother.
Go ahead and brag on them.
Yeah, I didn't. So, and it wasn't from scholarships or anything. Like, I went to Chicago State, right? Mm-hmm. And I was a mom. Mm-hmm. So I became a mom my freshman year of college. Mm-hmm. And after that, I didn't need my parents to apply for financial aid because I was independent at that time because I had a child. Mm-hmm. So by the time I got into my nursing program, my junior and senior year, I was getting stipends back that was amazing. You know what I mean?
How did you get that information?
So, and you know what? The truth of the matter is, let's talk about it. I got pregnant in my freshman year and was kept withdrawing, and I had to end up going to the city college. So I went to Kennedy King for 1.5 years. So after I delivered my son and tried to go back to school, I couldn't qualify for financial aid. I would have had to pay for it out of my pocket, right? So I went to Kennedy King for 1.5 years to show them that I was serious, that I wanted to come back to school. Mm-hmm. While I was at Kennedy King, there was a program called the Opportunities Program. I'll never forget it. I got books for free. Because I didn't take public transportation, I got money loaded onto my card. I don't even think we had link cards then. I don't know what that was. What that card was, I don't remember. But I got money loaded onto the card. I got uniforms for school. I got so many free things. So I tapped into all of those different programs that that was there to assist me through it. And then after 1.5 years, I went back to Chicago State. And when I say everything was free, when it was time to get money back, Pell Grants, those different stipends we were getting, I was getting decent checks back. Wow. When I went to school. So yeah.
You know what? That's a testimony. And there are so many takeaways with that. So if you're a parent, Shanara is a testimony. So if you don't see the straight, narrow path for your child, someone could say that being a teen parent could take away from the dreams that you may have him or her. But that doesn't have to be the case.
Doesn't have to be the case.
Or you could be the teen parent. You could be someone listening to this saying, well, I don't even know how I'm going to do this.
Inspiration.
That's
inspiration. Because don't let like choices that you made stop you from for what God has planned for your life. Sometimes delay doesn't mean denial. The setback doesn't mean that you can't pursue all your dreams.
And you know what? If there's somebody who's a conservative saying, oh my gosh, Shanara was getting free handouts, let me just put this 2 cents in there. These subsidies and programs help Shanara to become a participating person in our economy.
Yes.
And as such, it is causing our economy to grow. So, just had to throw that out there, that it was an investment.
I have no shame.
It's an investment well spent, and it increases the overall flow of the money and the dollars. And I know that's what people care about. So
I have no shame. Yeah, I graduated from, and let me just say this. So I did, even on top of that, right? Because we, as college students, we do things that make no sense, right? Mm-hmm. So I took out a student loan my junior year, my senior year, and I didn't even have to, right? Mm-hmm. But God blessed me where I was able to pay those student loans off before I even graduated from college.
There you go.
Something that the average young person wouldn't even do with the money.
Yeah.
But I paid all my debt off. I was debt free when I graduated from college.
Well, you've come this far in our discussion. So now you get rewarded with the question, Shanara, the real estate agent, knowing what you know now, would have you gone to college?
I would have. I definitely would have, because my setup was it was just set up for me to do so. Today is a different conversation. That same school that cost me $1,500 per semester is like $20,000.
So now would you
per
go?
semester? So today, if I came out of school and I knew that I wanted to be a real estate agent, I absolutely would not have went to school. Because the truth of the matter is, registered nurse, one of the most respected professions in America. I can make more money, and it's not about money, but I can make more money doing something I'm completely passionate about. I'm completely passionate about real estate. I make more money as a real estate agent than I ever did as a nurse.
And that's true with almost any sales job. If you are a good salesperson, you will make more money than the average person or the average career. So the sign for you listening is that, where do you fall in this discussion, or where does your child or your friend fall into this discussion? Everyone's coming from a different place. You know yourself, or you know your child, and you just have to think of it as an investment and explore your options, and just don't jump blindly into something. And the nice thing is, currently, real estate school don't cost that much.
Don't cost
that much. And if you're a good salesperson, it sounds like the return on investment of a realtor is a lot faster than it is for some other type of industry.
And guess what? After you get your real estate license, there are scholarships if you want to further your education in real estate.
What?
There are real estate scholarships for you to further if you want to get your associate's degree, bachelor's degree, get your master's degree. There are scholarships for you to do so, to continue your education. So there you have it.
A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
And if you're thinking about a career in real estate, call me. I'll help guide you through that process.
Absolutely. Shanara has a great team underneath her. And that's a whole other discussion, because if you kind of caught on, real estate school doesn't teach too much. You need a good person or mentor to help you. And Shanara is one of those persons. Her bedside manner from being a nurse really transitions over well. So yeah, reach out to her. All right. Well, that ends it for us. Thank you for joining us. Do you have any final thoughts, Shanara?
That's it.
She has 300 phone calls to make, and I have 200 emails, so we got to cut it short. See you later. Bye.
Bye.